Hi everyone, welcome to this February market update for the Wellington region. I'm Adam Cockburn here at Lowe Co, and we're looking at the February numbers compared to February 2021 and in some instances 2020 as well. So folks, in summary, prices remain soft. We've seen a small uptick technically in February, but the overall trend is gently downwards over the last few months, and we have more supply than we have seen since November 2015. So the general message is, buyers out there, get in amongst it. Get out there if you can, take advantage of these market opportunities, these market conditions. Don't be scared and stand on the sidelines, get in amongst it. So let's get into the details. So median sale price, February 2022, 993, so that's up a bit since the January numbers, and compared to February 2021 at 899,900, that's up 10%. So 10%, still quite a decent growth over a 12-month period. Of course, 10% is way lower than we've seen for a 12-month result for quite some time. And if you look there at the blue bar graph there, you can see over the last 5 months or so, it's been hovering around the high 900s, with the exception of January, of course, the previous month, where it was sort of just early 900s. So broadly speaking, the last 5 months on the median sale price basis, we have seen approximately level prices. Now, as I say every month in these videos, median sale price, I don't pay too much attention to it month to month. It's interesting looking at the overall long-term trend, and you can see there in the red line, clearly it has been upwards, as we all know. But the median sale price is as much a reflection of the mix of sale of properties that have sold rather than their underlying value. And the best measure of their underlying value that we have is the Real Estate Institute House Price Index. So let's have a look at those numbers. And in the Wellington region, you can see there in February, in February alone, increased by 1%. Over the 3 months, however, December, January, February, down by 2%. And interestingly, if we look at for 12 months to February 2022, just 7.2%. And if you cast your mind back to a year ago or thereabouts, we were seeing numbers of the house price index around 30 to 40%. On a 12-month basis. So to go from 30 to 40% a year ago down to 7% in a year, that is a remarkable drop. And indeed, 7%, that's about the long-term average price growth that we're seeing around the country. So still growth, but much more modest than we have seen for quite some time. Going back to the monthly result, 1%, obviously, that is a small increase. Again, I don't pay too much attention to the month-by-month numbers. Looking at it over the 3-month basis is a bit more reliable, and that shows a bit more of a trend that does bounce around a little bit more on a month-to-month basis. So it'll be interesting to see how the future, what the next few months bring. If we look there at the house price index growth, you can see the orange line there shows the 3-month results. So again, back in February last year, we were seeing growth of almost 12% just for 3 months and almost 6% just for the month of February. Since then, it dropped down really quite significantly, down to much more modest levels from March last year. And in these videos, again, I was saying that the price growth we're seeing is much more modest, but it hasn't really come through in these 12-month figures until very recently, really in the last 2 to 3 months. And there you can see in the last few months, right at the end of that graph there, you can see the 3-monthly moving average, which is the orange line again, has dropped into negative territory, and the monthly result, being the blue line, has been really bouncing around zero or just a bit less over the last sort of 4 months or so. So prices remain pretty soft, very modest 12-month rise now, and prices have been trending down slightly recently. Let's look now at new listings. And again, this is painting a really clear picture here. 990 new listings in Wellington for the month of February compared to 779 a year ago and 802 2 years ago. So that's an increase of 27% compared to a year ago and 23% compared to 2 years ago. So a significant uptick in the amount of new stock coming to the market, vendors deciding to sell their properties. And again, you can see the clear trend over the last sort of 18 to 24 months in that red line there. Over lockdown, we saw the lowest number of new listings, obviously, with total uncertainty in the market and an inability to show properties. No one, of course, brings their properties to the market in those conditions, almost no one. And since then, we've seen a continual, gradual increase in the amount of stock coming to the market. So if we look at the red line there, which is the 6-month average, it's almost at 800 for the month, for the 6 months up to February. And if you cast your eye right back to the left-hand side of that graph, we have to go right back to early 2016, where we've seen 6-month average of greater than 800. So we really haven't seen these levels of supply for quite some time. On the sales side, again, a really clear and quite dramatic picture emerging here. 535 sales in February 2022 compared to 763 a year ago and 790 2 years ago. So that's 30% decrease on a year ago and 32% decrease on 2 years ago. So significantly fewer sales taking place. So we got this combination of a significant increase in the amount of supply coming to the market, combined with a significant decrease in the number of sales taking place. And again, the trend is clear in that red line. You can see since we came out of lockdown, we have seen continuingly, gradually reducing number of sales taking place. Again, on that 6-month moving average basis, the red line there, we are approaching down to 600 in the month, or on average a month. And the only time it has been less than that in the Wellington region is during lockdown. And so that is really quite a dramatic picture there, that the only time we've seen fewer sales taking place on average has been when the market has literally been shut down and very, very difficult to transact indeed. So a very clear picture again emerging there. Good news again for buyers and not the greatest news for sellers. It shows that it is becoming really quite difficult to attract the attention and the interest of buyers in the market. Let's look now at the days to sell. How long is it taking to sell a property in Wellington? In summary, a really long time compared to historical norms. So 48 days for sales in February 2022. And remember, we had 49 days in January. So 48, 49 days for the last couple of months there. And back to February 2021, it was 30 days. And February 2020, the same again, 30 days. So that is a 60% increase, what we saw in February this year compared to both of the last Februarys, a significant increase indeed. Again, look at that graph. The blue bar chart shows we have never seen take 48 or 49 days, or more than 48, 49 days, except when we were in lockdown. And obviously, when you can't show properties and it's very difficult to sell properties, on average, those properties are going to sit on the market longer. So the only time we've seen it take longer to sell property in Wellington is when the market was basically closed. So again, really a very dramatic result. It's all adding up to a clear picture that buyers have got far more choice and have got more leverage and more ability to negotiate with the sellers in the market. Great news if you're a buyer and you can raise the money. So as I say, don't stand on the sidelines, get in amongst it and take advantage of these market conditions. How much inventory we got in the market? Again, the same sort of picture. We've seen 13 weeks worth of supply in February, and we had 14 weeks worth of supply in January. Again, it's been a very, very long time since we've had 13 or 14 weeks worth of supply in the market. We have to go right back to the middle of 2015 before we see similar supply levels. Since then, or in the intervening 6.5 years or so, it has been much tighter supply than that. So again, all good news for buyers. In terms of Trade Me listings, what's the gross level of supply we're seeing on the market? And these numbers were as of a few days ago when we're recording this. But in March 2022, 2,795 listings on Trade Me in the Wellington region, compared to 1,082 a year ago and 1,652 years ago. So compared to a year ago, we are up 158%. This is a dramatic turnaround. And again, you see the shape of that graph there, those blue lines, you can see it has dramatically increased in the last 6 months. The whole story has emerged in the last 6 months. Prior to that, we were very, very tight supply indeed. So to put this another way, a year ago, for every 4 listings we had on the market in Wellington a year ago, there are now slightly more than 10 listings to choose from. So again, fantastic choice for buyers. Any of you buyers out there who think that there's not enough to choose from out there, think again. This has been a very, very long time since we've had this amount of choice. In fact, we have to go back to November 2015 before Trade Me listing volumes were at this level. So in summary, folks, it's all adding up to more of a buyer's market, really. It's heading really in buyers' favour. Prices have fallen over the last 3 months. Now, new listings up significantly versus the last 2 years. Sales volumes down significantly versus the last 2 years. Duration to sell, it's taking significantly longer compared to the last 2 years. And inventory, the amount of supply on Trade Me, is up absolutely enormously. There are more Trade Me listings on the market than any time since November 2015. As I keep saying, buyers out there, get in amongst it. Take advantage of these market conditions if you can. It's Adam Cockburn here at Lowe Co. Thanks for checking in. If you want an appraisal or any advice, reach out to me. Happy to help. See you next month.